Good evening, everybody. I'd like to call the Neighborhood Commission meeting to order. This is our Monday, July 28, 2025 meeting. I'd like to start off by having our roll call. Dylan, can you call the roll?
Yes. Bernal. Oh, Mahia. Are you there, Mahia?
I'm here. Here.
Thank you. Clark. Here. Logue. Here. Malendra.
Here.
Oshiro.
Here.
Smith. Here. Tamamoto. And Verret.
Here.
All right, we have quorum. 7 present.
Thank you. I'd like to start off by going over our rules of speaking. Anyone wishing to speak is asked to raise his or her hand, and when recognized by the chair, to address comments to the chair. Speakers are to keep their comments under 2 minutes. We'll take public testimony on each agenda item. So at this time, please silence all electronic devices. Thank you. Let's start off with our public concerns. Do we have any public concerns tonight?
We got 2 hands raised online and 1 in person.
Mike, David?
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Chair. 2 things, just very briefly. The first is every once in a while there is a moment of confusion if you are looking at your agenda that this is an initial convening meeting. It is not. The Neighborhood Commission, of course, is constant. It rolls over. The initial convening relates to the start of the new board terms. So something else needs to be there as an annual convening or something like that, because you are focusing on the election of officers for the next 12 months, that kind of stuff. That's one thing. Secondly, I wish to express my appreciation to the Neighborhood Plan Committee, Patrick Smith as chair, and the other members. I spent a few hours in the last couple of days pulling together a resource kind of comparison chart, and with that, we'll take back to committee a number of, and to staff, a number of very specific suggestions for clarity and improvement, because actually what I'm left with is actually this does not speed up the process as I think was initially the goal. And I do have some thoughts as to that to take a look at. But I commend the effort of the committee and the staff so far, because there's a lot of detail that most of us don't appreciate until literally you dive in the deep end and swim around for a while. And then lastly, and you have several things on your agenda this evening relating to requests for either going at large or whatever from sub-districts. I just wish to kind of raise the yellow flag for the commission that one of the things that did get brought up briefly in the Neighborhood Plan Committee was perhaps the need to review critically the district boundaries and the respective neighborhood board organization, meaning at large, sub-district, etc. And especially to do so at a time that we are not up against key deadlines relating to the election cycle. So I'll kind of say we have kind of 18 months or less at this point to take a little bit more of a serious review on that. And the start of it would simply be an invitation that I'd be happy to talk to everybody about later. An invitation to the respective boards to take a look, because there are at least 4 boards that I'm aware of are interested in possibly changing boundaries, particularly based on either specific ideas in their area or simply like Eva playing the growth in population. Okay, thank you, Chair.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else?
Yeah, we have 2 hands raised online. Kevin Lai.
Who's the other?
Greg Masaki.
Great. Kevin, you have the floor. You have a concern? Go ahead.
Chair, thank you for the chance to speak. I have a couple of issues to raise in increasing order of importance, but I think they should be documented tonight. I'm wondering first, indeed, thank you. Why is the amended written record of the April 2025 meeting of the Neighborhood Commission approved on 19 May 2025, not yet posted online. I'm wondering why there are no approved written summaries for Neighbor Board 35 on the calendar year to date that are also available online. Now, this may be because the HTML on the MB35 subpage is missing a reference to an obscure DocuShare folder called Collection 15326. But this may instead be solely because the draft documents were all approved as written without amendment. But if that's the case, then why are there distinct archived draft minutes and archived approved minutes for each neighborhood board on the official NCO subpages, which appear to display the same documents? Should there not be some indication of file storing protocols for the naive visitor to sites such as this? As a counterexample to what we saw on the NB35 page, in February 2025, Board 32 from Waimanalo adopted without amendment its draft written record from January 2025, and that written record was placed within just a few days in the corresponding approved minutes official online folder. So the different neighborhood boards are operating differently, and I'm just wondering if there is an established protocol to ensure the public can follow logical on-screen clues based on the blue buttons and click options on each subpage to access the desired information, unless and until we are able to have fully searchable archives of all records available to date. Relatedly, why does the hyperlink for the July 2024 Neighborhood Commission written summary, amended and adopted on 26 August 2024, serve up the Wednesday, 7 August 2024 written summary for Neighborhood Board number 7 from Manoa? Is this part of an apparent purging of any evidence of meetings of the Elections Committee during 2024 and 2025, or is an audit needed? I'm answering the last 2 points here. What is the cost of the trinkets and stickers and swag from the June initiation meeting for neighborhood board members, and for the replacement of the clear plastic name placards for at least some of the neighborhood boards? The other ones appear to be working perfectly well.
Please summarize in 2 minutes.
Finally, as referenced in the draft written summary of the commission for May 2025 to be deliberated this evening, who is responsible for acknowledging and responding to written requests for information of the commission when such are submitted as per Title II, subchapters 11-103 and 11-401? Multiple requests have been submitted to the commission. Messages have been left with the chair, but to no avail. I've received no response to these questions, which are sometimes time critical. I contend to you, commissioners, the system is broken. Thank you.
I'm tracking all that.
Okay.
Greg Masaki.
Okay, Greg, Masaki, you have the floor. Go ahead.
Thank you. Aloha, Chair and members of the Commission. I echo what Member Lai says, Kevin Lai. I always echo what he says because he's seeing all the same things that many others see, but he's actually seeing much more because he's taking the time to dig into it. We see things when they're brought forward to us, and unfortunately, with everybody's busy schedule, sometimes we don't always see what we need to see. And with that said, today I spent some time with some legislators talking about the past legislative session. We had a Zoom meeting for Kokua Council and talking about the future. And one of the things that came up was elections integrity. And I can only say there was no elections integrity with the neighborhood board system this year. Last year, there were concerns also, but with this year, it was a blatant failure. And that will be addressed. It needs to be addressed. There is the Hawaii Supreme Court case that I did file pro se, and that will be forward. And whatever else I need to do to get this issue adjudicated, whether it's in the court or in the public opinion. With that said, I submitted testimony for tonight, and I did it within 48 hours, written testimony, and I do not see that testimony posted as I entered this meeting. So I do see 2 testimonies from 2 people, but I don't see mine. And I don't know if it's some other place, maybe it's Member Lai is mentioning it, these things go into other repositories or they get hidden. Maybe that you're trying to hide my testimony. I don't know. Very concerning. So I'm going to ask right now, before we continue with this meeting, could you please post my testimony addressed properly? And it was also copied to every commissioner. So it's an affront to not just me personally, is this a personal attack? I don't know, but also to the process, the procedures that quite often the neighborhood commission office is not following. Our executive secretary here at the neighborhood commission is not following, and the commissioners are not following or enforcing, as you have the authority to do so or to interject. So I'll leave it there. The other things I want to discuss are on agenda, so I'll save my time, and I know I'm done with my time, but I'll save those issues for later, and I appreciate the time to bring forth that. I would ask that you pull up my testimony and that everybody has a copy of it available, including the members of the public that are here tonight, so that they can go online right now and access it through the shared Google Drive. Thank you.
See if I
Okay, thank you. Anybody else?
let me check, sorry. Okay, there are no other hands raised.
Okay, thank you. We'll move on to the next item on our agenda, which is the election of officers to serve from July 1st, 2025, or from this day forward until June 30, 2026. The positions that we have are chair, vice chair, secretary, and treasurer. It's not listed. We have a treasurer. So currently I'm chair, vice chair is Patrick Smith, secretary is Mahealani Bernal, and the treasurer is Bill Clark. I'd like to start by just letting the commissioners know you may already have heard that 3 of the commissioners will be replaced because the council has appointed 3 people to serve on the commission. So that's myself who will be moving off of the commission. I've served basically my 10 years. I've termed out, but I'll serve until being replaced. The other 2 commissioners who will also be moving on and replaced by these new commissioners are Commissioner Melendrez and Commissioner Tamamoto. So the rest who are here will continue to serve with the new commissioners that may be coming on board as soon as possibly the next commission meeting. So with that, I'd like to, do I need to pass on the chair? I do, yeah, in terms of nominations.
You're still serving and you're the chair.
So I can,
So you can still.
okay, so then I'll ask for nominations for chair. Do we have nominations? Larry?
I'd like to nominate Commissioner Patrick Smith.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any other nominations? Hearing none, are there any objections?
Chair, if I could just run through the roll call for this one.
Okay, wait. Any objections? No objections, so let's go and get the roll.
Thank you. When I call your name, please state the name of the person you're voting for or abstain.
Oh, there is no other.
I know, it's just
Okay,
procedure.
just-
Bernal,
Excuse me, I vote for Patrick chair. I'm sorry, Patrick for chair.
thank you. Clark,
Same, Patrick.
thank you. Loeb,
Patrick Smith.
Melendrez,
Patrick.
Oshiro,
Patrick Smith.
Smith,
Patrick Smith.
Kamamoto, Verret.
Patrick Smith.
All right, congratulations, Chair.
Thank you very much.
Good job.
Watch out, I got the gavel. Okay, so next up on the agenda is our election for vice chair. Do we have any nominations for vice chair? Well, Richard?
I nominate this commissioner, as long as he accepts, then that'll be good. I nominate Larry Beret.
Apex.
Huh?
Apex.
Yes.
I accept. Do I hear a second?
I second.
Okay, thank you. Are there,
Oh, go ahead.
I know it's hard. I did that to my committee, in my big board meeting. Are there any other nominations?
No.
Hearing none, we can proceed to a vote.
All right, again, please state the name of the person you're voting for. Bernal,
Larry Varay,
Clark,
Larry Bray.
Loeb,
Larry Bray.
Melendrez,
Larry Bray.
Oshiro,
Larry Beret.
Smith,
Larry Bray.
Tamamoto, and Verret.
Larry Bray.
All right, congratulations, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Thank you, Larry. so next up is our secretary. We do have Mahia. Are you willing to continue to serve?
There, can you hear me? I'll be willing to serve.
Thank you. Do we have any other nominations for secretary? Hearing none, we can proceed to a vote.
Bernal.
Mahia Burnell.
Clark. Clark.
Yes. I'm trying to write deep down.
Mahia.
Are you saying Mahan?
Pardon
Mahan?
me? Yes.
Mahan?
Yeah.
I'll take that.
Yeah, okay.
Loeb? Melendres?
No.
Oshiro?
Mahia.
Smith?
Mahia.
Tamamoto? Verret.
Mahia.
All right, congratulations.
Thank you. Okay, our last position is for treasurer. Bill is currently our treasurer. Would you want to continue or would you accept?
If, I accept.
Me, yes.
Sure.
Okay, I think that's a yes. Do we have any other nominations? Hearing none, we can proceed to a vote.
All right. Bernal?
Bill.
Clark?
Bill?
Loeb?
Bill.
Melendres?
Bill.
Oshiro?
Bill.
Smith?
Bill.
Tamamoto? And Verret.
Bill.
All right, congratulations, Bill.
Thank you, everybody.
Oh, thank you so much.
Good job. Don't show up, you got it. Okay, so next up, we have our determination of meeting date, time, location, and format. And is everybody happy with the Monday? Yeah, I think it's the fourth Monday of the month, technically, right? At 6 a.m. at this location.
6 p.m.
6 a.m. Man, you're still showing up already.
Oh,
6 p.m.
Come on.
Hey, shot to the adrenaline. Okay, 6 p.m. Sorry, fourth Monday of every month at this location and hybrid. Is everybody okay with that?
Yes.
To confirm or
Yes.
if there's no,
We can do a motion in a second, but we can do unanimous for that one. Or hearing
are there no objections? Hearing none, I think it's approved.
All right.
Thank you. Determination of recess schedule. I think in the past we had June and probably December.
Yes. Yeah.
Does anyone wish to offer any additional or make modifications to that? Are there any objections then to, going on recess in June and December?
No.
And no. Okay, so hearing no objections, we're, accept that as policy. Next is our adoption of oral testimony rules. I think essentially that's just a 2-minute limit. Are there any, does anyone wish to offer any modifications of that policy?
Consider 3. 2's kind of short.
Okay,
Let's do 3.
does anybody want to make a motion to change to 3?
I would move for consideration of 3 minutes.
Well, you'd move to change it to 3
Yes.
minutes? Okay. Is there a second? I'll go second. Okay, second. Would you like to speak to that or maybe just briefly?
The board used 3. And 2, there's a concern that the people are thinking, as if they only have 2 minutes, they're thinking more about the time than they are what they need to say. And sometimes they trip over their own words. So 3 minutes, I feel would be more appropriate. 2 is kind of short. I know when we do that to the Senate, when they say 2 minutes, like it's gone, and they just hammer it down. So they've changed it to 3 also, the committees.
Thank you. Are there any other, Richard?
I think we should leave it at 2. I think that's worked. And the people that are going to speak, usually what we've seen is that as long as they organize their thoughts, they can do it in 2 minutes. But typically what happens is that we let them go longer than 2 anyway. So if you go 3, you can have it 4. So 2, it becomes 2.5, maybe up to 3. Depends whether we're getting, the timer on. So in terms of the efficiency of the meeting, I think we should stick with 2.
Any other thoughts, or can we move to, go to a vote? All those in favor of Melendres' motion to modify the testimony rules to 3 minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed say no.
No.
No,
Okay, I think, yeah, any abstentions? Okay. We don't need to take a formal vote, I don't think. Do we you agree?
Hearing no objections, then it would.
Well, there
be
were
retained.
objections, but only two, so it's clearly two.
And we're still good.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Just, you can extend it, just like you said.
Yeah,
That's it, go for over 20. Most of the
Okay.
time. I mean, I can check it, it's all over 2.
Yeah.
Without being rude.
So, next on the agenda, we have our approval of minutes for May 19th. Does anyone wish to offer any amendments to the distributed minutes?
I don't see any hands
I
raised.
don't see anybody, everybody's looking though.
Oh, good.
All right, without any offers of amendments, we will, not adopt, but we will accept the minutes as distributed. Okay, thank you. Next up, we can move on to our new business. We have a request from Diamond Head Neighborhood Board number 5. I think this was the one that there was some confusion. Lloyd, did you want to address that or?
Should you want to do it first?
Yeah, I was talking to the neighborhood assistant more, but there was just some confusion, and then that was the testimony that you all received as well, was the board at their meeting, I guess just had some confusion, but a motion was adopted, which is what you see on the agenda here. And then we did get testimony from the chair, who said, oh, some of us felt this way, some of us felt this way. So that's all listed out clearly in his email. And then you guys can make a decision on that. But I believe we do have the chair of that board present, if you'd like to ask him.
Yeah, so we have
Winston Walsh.
Winston Welsh. Chair Welsh, do you want to offer any insights?
Let's see if his mic is on.
Yeah, we'll see it over there. I didn't see it either.
This one.
I mean, I will tell you, I did have a chance to look at the clip, and they initially had wanted to ask the commission to have the ability themselves to do it. And the NA correctly pointed out that the commission has to do it. So I don't think I would not be surprised if they were abundantly clear. And based on the email that was distributed, it seems like there was some confusion. Although the motion was stated pretty succinctly, it was only supposed to be for one. If we can't hear from the chair, we can do one of two things, it seems like to me. We can either table this, or we can approve it, and then they can come back and just ask for it to be changed.
Motion to approve.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Are there any noes? Any noes or abstentions? Hearing none, it's approved. Thank you. Next up, we have Makiki number 10.
Chair, I'm so sorry. We just got a comment from Winston, and he said, I'm here, I just cannot hear you. Mahia, you can still hear us, and the other participants online?
yes.
Okay, thank you. We can proceed.
Okay. Well, it's pretty much going to be, they're going to have to come back.
It's
and they
back
can
in the
fix
court.
it. Yeah, and they can fix it. I can talk to them off after the meeting or during the week or something. So neighborhood board number 10, what they want to do is they're requesting to change all their 17 boards from from sub-districts to at-large. Hence, are going forward, not just this term. Is Nathan Char or anybody? I didn't know if he was going to come out.
Not
I
present.
think he's just standing on his letter.
Okay, so, yeah, they had a discussion about sub-districts. I watched a little bit of that, and they just wanted to go. They've had some trouble filling specific sub-districts. And they're consciously aware of that whole dynamic of, maybe smaller sub-districts might not have representation. So I suppose if they find issues in the future, they can always come back. But is there, anyone want to offer a motion to approve?
I so move.
So move in second?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Any further discussion?
No.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Any abstentions? Okay, the motion is approved. Or this is approved. Okay, thank you. Next up, we have IA Neighborhood Board number 20. They propose to change one vacant or one sub-district seat to an at-large for just this term. I think I saw that as they just want to be, I think they have a candidate who might be interested and they just want to change it to that. Do I hear a motion to approve?
Motion.
So moved. Bill, second. Are any further discussion?
No.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Thank you. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, that's approved also. Next up, we have a report about the Pearl City Neighborhood Board number 21. And Larry, if you want to take that.
Yes, I wanted to bring this to the commission because we're really excited at Pearl City right now. With the new election that we just had, we brought some new young people on board. So it was a great opportunity to engage them, give them some new responsibility. And what we're doing is we're recruiting, starting off with 2 Pearl City High School students to come on a committee. We've established a new committee called it for youth issues in Pearl City. So I really think that they're going to have a good opportunity to address a lot of the student and young people issues in Pearl City that we can work on the Pearl City Neighborhood Board. And I hope this will be a model for other boards to do the same thing. That's it.
Thank you. Are there any questions?
Question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So these are new board members?
They're not board members, they're on the committee.
Oh, the committee? Okay,
Yes, committee
fine.
members,
It's a new committee.
yes.
Great. How many do you have on?
Well, we'll have to first start.
Did you write, did you come up, did you develop a resolution?
It's coming.
Oh, great.
I just want to give the heads
Okay,
up.
yeah, I
in
was
case
wondering if.
Yeah, I want to give a heads up to the
That's
leadership here. And if you guys say, Larry, it's a bad idea, then I would have retracted. But no, I got my new board member. He's already drafted the resolution. And it'll be at the next board meeting.
Great, and we want to do that in Milwaukee too. Milwaukee.
Yeah.
That's a great
That could
idea.
be a model program, so
Yeah.
thank you.
I like
Any further questions?
One hand raised online.
Oh, who's that?
Kevin Lai.
Kevin Lai, go ahead, please.
Chair, thank you. I just wanted to comment on Commissioner Verrey's proposal, and it's good to hear. It reminds me a lot of a resolution that Neighborhood Board 13 adopted in 2021, allowing participation of 16 and 17-year-olds on neighborhood boards. It was an idea that we had floated, so I'm interested in learning more about that and seeing how it progresses. So thank you for mentioning that.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you. Anything further? Hearing none, I would let everybody know just about the changes in the sub-districts versus at-large. There was some discussion about whether that came out, those agenda items came out at the behest of the commission. And I don't recall, and I don't think anyone recalls the commission specifically asking. We were just letting people know that it was an option. So there was some question on some of the boards that I saw, and I just wanted to make that clarification. Thank you. Next up, we have our executive secretary's report. Lloyd?
Thank you, Chair. Let me see, where am I at? Okay. I had talked about it previously and with the intent of meeting with the chairs and vice chairs on a regular basis. And it wasn't to do anything of significance in terms of major decisions, but basically let the chairs know what we're up to, what we're doing. And let them ask any questions or talk to me about anything they want to talk about. And one of the things, and it'll be monthly, the first one is gonna be in about a week, which is really, I know, a short window. But I want to reassure the chairs, I will reassure the chairs and vice chairs that there's nothing critical happening. It's just to talk with them. And one of the things actually I'm going to talk with them in this meeting is what I want to bring up tonight, because I want to talk to you or let you know first before I talk to the chairs. But we've been looking at a way to make our minutes better. And we've looked at AI for a while now, like 2-3 years. And when we first started, it wasn't exactly what we wanted. There was a lot of issues with it in terms of it would actually maybe take more time for us to do it. But as you know, technology changes, and right now I think we have a program that will work for for the AI program to actually do the minutes, at least the first draft, and from there, then the NA would get involved and go through and make any corrections that they need to make. It actually is quite incredible when, you know, when you load up the right things and you ask the right questions, like, it will produce a set of draft minutes in a matter of minutes.
Yeah.
It's actually scary at times. And being a low-tech person is even scarier because of thinking and writing faster than I can, so. Yeah, but anyway, I just want to bring it to your attention that we will begin doing the draft minutes with AI.
How does it do it? Does it listen to the recording?
What it is, what's interesting is, and this is what, you know, for me, what I find out when I talk to these guys, is that it depends on what you ask and what you provide them. So you provide them the recording of the minutes, but it also provides them with the written summary of the written minutes. I mean, the written, what do you call it? Verbatim summary. Yeah. Yeah, and then transcript, transcript.
Yeah.
And then you tell them that this is how we do the minutes. We'd like you to follow this format and make sure you record certain things or talk about certain things in the minutes. And literally, if you load it up with the video recording and the transcript, and you give it some parameters, in 5 minutes you have a set of minutes.
Is there a transcript?
There's a transcript because the WebEx and Zoom and everybody else, they record the minutes and then they will actually transcribe that.
You mean the whole
thing.
2-hour meeting?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's actually amazing.
It's probably not a transcript. Transcripts are
Well-
not that good.
Transcripts are
If you
not
read
good.
testimony,
Well, so to give a very
Yeah.
low-tech explanation, basically you would take the YouTube video, which is listening to the audio, and it has also a imperfect transcript of what's being said. You take the WebEx recording, which also is a duplicate of the audio and transcript of what's being said, so it'll parse out between those two. Then you give it an old set of minutes, basically saying this is the format that I like, and then you feed it a modern, current, this month's agenda, saying do the format of the minutes that way, but use the topics of this modern agenda, and then it'll be able to sort out that.
Does it transcribe, like, you know, I've seen, for example, with the hearing impaired, they translate the recording, you see the subtitles, like, you know,
Yeah.
it comes up on the
That's what
screen.
it's picking up.
So is that what it picks up
Yeah.
the same way, like, so all the Hawaiian words, for example, are all all over the place? And if they have a speaker that they're not familiar with, you know, it'd be all over the place as well.
So that's what that's the second step, is cleaning up anything that are missed, but it's actually gotten really good at like native Hawaiian words and stuff like that right now. Yeah.
Yeah, and the scary part of AI is that it learns.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that word was Hawaiian and misspelled before, is now, it's not an issue.
I have a question. How do you input the data into AI?
There's software that you just use, and
No,
so
but how?
it's kind of like it's kind of like file dropping. So there's like a box that'll say, drag and drop here. So you just get the files that you want.
I mean, the audio file, because you talked about two sources.
Yeah, so we would download like the video of the WebEx and the YouTube video, and we would just drag the file and say, here's the file. Same thing with the documents, we would just drag and drop.
What AI program are you using?
What was that?
It's called Ninja AI.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah. It has a lot of uses, but
Okay.
we found through testing that it works with us and the transcript. So WebEx does have an actual transcript. So we take that, we save it as a Word doc, we give it to the AI program with a prompt that says do this, and it summarizes the transcript. So the minutes are not going to turn out to be a transcript. And just to be clear, we're still working on everything, but I wanted to note that these May minutes were used with AI. The difference is I still went in and I had to clean up and make it look similar and professional to what we're currently providing in
How
terms
do
of
they-
titles and things.
NAs do it now, do they like just do the minutes based on their notes and then check back to double check if they need to
The
with
standard
the recording?
practice for years has been basically, well, I mean, even the YouTube thing is relatively new, but basically an audio recording or a video recording, somehow getting the audio, the old style was just listening to a recording and then also getting the papers that people hand out throughout the meetings.
And then summarizing what everyone
And then
said.
just summarizing it, so it's a very serious, but, this is now, we're still working out the kinks, but, and it'll also, we'll know that it'll better serve, because we know that there's been concerns raised about the minutes, just in terms of like everything that's being said and whatnot. So we're hoping that this will actually address those concerns too, because, the AI is able to capture pretty much bullet point by bullet point, the main gist of like what each person may be talking about throughout the meeting.
Thank you.
Yeah, and for Kevin Lai, if you remember a year ago, he asked for this, so Kevin, it came. But let me tell you, that it's really interesting how fast this is progressing now with AI. It's gonna be in our daily life. When I go to Kaiser Permanente and in-person meetings now with the doctors, it's all AI. They turn on a recorder and the whole transcript is right there from when the doctor talks and then when the patient response.
Yeah, just in the last couple of years, I mean, it's something we've wanted to do for a while, but we were finding that in previous, earlier AI, it was taking longer to end up going back in and correcting all of the things that needed to be corrected than it would have been to just sit down and do it yourself. But at this point, the scales have tipped, and now it's actually,
Are there any, do you have anybody online that wants to offer insight?
Greg Masaki.
Greg, go ahead, please.
Thank you. Let me just pull up what I just had on my screen. So I am a techie. I come from a background of technology in my career. I'm all for tools. And if I had to do minutes, which I do, I would be interested to use a tool that would make my life easier. So I'm sometimes drafting for Cocoa Council or for other boards. With that said, we've tried it. And I know this may be a different version. I'm not sure if we use Ninja AI. But there's some pitfalls with it. And so I understand that you're going to go back and review what you have. So it's a tool. It's like a person, instead of a person, you have a, artificial intelligence software doing the work. And then you go back and you kind of review that. But I'm just going to read to you one thing and then we can move on. This is from ICMA, and I just found this, so bear with me. It's not something I had earlier researched. ICMA is the world's leading association of professional city and county managers and other employees who serve local governments. So I can share this with you later. This is the title of an article, Why Local Governments Should Be Cautious with AI-Generated Meeting Summaries. And I'll just leave it there. It's a tool. I'm not comfortable with it at this point. I don't know that I ever will be because, again, it's not, there can be human error, but there can be a lot more AI error from what I've discovered in these meeting minutes. I've read back some of the summaries and I'm like, that wasn't the wording that was discussed or what was discussed. So I think there needs to be caution, and I'll leave it there. Thank you.
Thank you. If you want to upload that, a link to that article in the minutes, I'm sure that they can take, the RENAs will take a look. Thank you.
I'll forward it, and I'll make a deal with you. Could you upload my testimony for today? I submitted it Saturday. I still don't see it. I just looked a moment ago. It was submitted to the NCO and all the commissioners. If someone could please post it.
Okay.
The shared Google Drive. Thank you. Appreciate it.
I think it looked like to me that testimony involved an adjudication case. That's how I took it. It didn't seem testimony.
No,
Okay,
it was
well,
testimony for the commission meeting tonight. Yeah.
Okay, well, I have to follow up on that. I'm not really sure.
Sent Saturday.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Chair,
Yes.
I have a comment about that, just that, because I worked with AI a lot in defense, and just to try to tailor the program to learn context, the contextual grasp of what's occurring. That's something not the servers, because they have to know what's occurring in the group. And I don't know if that program can do that.
I think if we look at what the written summaries are, because we got to look back at the YouTube video is the primary record. Based on how the law is currently drafted, the YouTube video serves as the primary record, and then we have the written document that serves as the secondary, which includes motions. What action did the board take? So everything else is actually just who said what. So I hear what you're saying, and I also understand any concerns with AI. But our practice right now is we feed it all the information, we take it back. We have to do a lot of cleaning up anyway.
Yeah,
The
you
draft that it puts out, like it doesn't underline everything we want it to, it's not listed in proper order that we're currently used to seeing. So we do those reviews and edits, and then we have our staff watch the whole video with the document, the minutes, and then listen, oh, is that, you know, I actually caught someone that it was a female, but the minutes caught it as a male. So I switched those things. But I'm very impressed with what it does. So our current practice is to get the document, and before we send it to the board, we still review. And then after that, it goes to the board, and then it'll be public, and at the meeting, if any concerns are raised, just like regular minutes, make those corrections at the meeting.
Good.
Thank you.
I do have one more hand raised.
Okay.
Kevin Lai.
Kevin, go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. On this topic, I would just hope that a larger goal can also be, once this process is stabilized, so to speak, will there be the ability to feed the transcripts that can be generated to the system so that, again, we will end up with a searchable archive of the meetings that have already been in the past, so that it really would help folks to look for quotes, context, and content that's necessary. And it may be an idea to have some sort of citizen community involvement in this process as you're refining the template that can be used with the AI. And so I hope that that can be seen as kind of a larger. Thank you.
Thank you. We will take that under advisement. Thank you.
One more hand raised.
Who's that?
Bob Finley.
Pardon me?
Bob Finley.
Oh, Bob Finley. Chair Finley, go ahead, please.
Sorry, my brand new computer does not work, the camera doesn't work.
Okay,
Listening to this, does this comply with section 214.113, meeting minutes in the neighborhood plan? Or are you gonna have to alter the neighborhood plan for verbatim minutes?
Well, I'm not.
So
Okay, go ahead, Dylan.
So the short answer is it still complies with the current sunshine law that states that you can use a video record with written summary. Our whole goal, honestly, is to just beef up what is currently in the minutes, because we know that that's been asked of us. So it'll still have the timestamps and all of the topics and all of that stuff that is currently in the minutes that are being produced, but there will actually be more information there. It'll almost be kind of like the 10 years ago minutes where there's a lot more substance that was in it, but it'll just be supplemented with the video and the timestamp. So it's kind of a bringing together of the two.
Yeah, I would say the provision in question would be 214.113 A4, which is the substance of all matters. That's where we get all the complaints, at least that I hear. People say they don't believe that the commission is capturing the substance. So this will be a step in the right direction. Of course, as you know, that's very subjective too. So anyway, are there any other thoughts or concerns, or anyone want to be heard? Okay, I would ask, does anybody, apart from AI, just on the executive secretary's report, does anyone have anything they wish to offer there? Go ahead, Tom.
Thank you, Chair. Tom Heinrich. I wish to especially commend Lloyd and the Neighborhood Commission Office staff for really starting to do this meeting with the chairs, vice chairs on a regular basis, whether it's monthly or otherwise. Those of you who know me know that one of the aggravations that I have in the neighborhood plan is that for the commission, for the conference of chairs, the ultimate political compromise years ago was that you need to do that once every biennium, which is not much conversation between the commission and the boards. In this way, what I also wish to note is, as Lloyd is now beginning to do, is that the commission is not the neighborhood commission office, which can take, the executive secretary can take his or her own initiative, and as well the chairs or the board leaders as well can call their own meeting in that regard and increase that conversation. So I wanted to commend that. And one quick side note is in doing some other things in relating to the neighborhood plan over the weekend. I was reviewing some agendas, and I note that coming up this Wednesday is a multiple special meeting with 4 neighborhood boards that are involved. So bottom line, it's that type of coordination that especially can be encouraged. Bottom line, communication.
Thank you, Tom. I would like to bring up an issue, and that is, and welcome Claire. It is that new board member orientation. Larry has done a very good job of producing a presentation for new board members. So I'm actually I think tomorrow is I'm going to do one for, even though I'm no longer the chair, I'm going to do one for our new board members. So that's something, if Lloyd, you'd be interested, we could pass over to you. That's okay, Larry. I mean, it's Larry's that brought it together.
They've already put through it already.
Oh, okay, well, never mind.
Okay, so I got their thumbprint.
But I thought that it was
training. Yeah, I made all the corrections.
Awesome.
Okay, well then never mind, I guess you already know. One step ahead. Okay, with that said, is there any last issues on the executive secretary? Hearing none, thank you very much. Next up, we have committee reports. Do we have a report from the elections committee?
No, we don't. I think the elections went well. We inducted our new members, and I don't think we've generated any complaints from contestants, the questionable races. So I think elections will stand as run or printed out and it's printed.
Thank you. I'm sure we have some online folks that would like to offer something. Who's up first?
I just had one hand raised right now, and it's Greg and Sakian.
Greg, please go ahead.
Thank you. It was hard to actually hear that out loud. I didn't know if I was imagining or if it was an AI generated comment. And I don't mean to be disrespectful, but that's how egregious to me that the comment was. Let me just be concise here so we keep it simple. There was an election this year. There was an election in 2023 that had a problem, and it actually affected one of the staff here, Dylan Buck. So there was a contested election in 2023. There was a resolution that came out of that where people had difficulty voting online, and the election was redone, and the incumbent who originally lost because of apparently very low voter turnout, ended up winning the second time around. There were numerous election concerns raised in this election cycle during commission meetings just like this. There was never an elections committee meeting that I'm aware of. I've looked for meeting minutes. I thought maybe I might have missed something. Yet there's been a report given. So I don't understand how you can give a report. I understand committees very well, and there's no disrespect here, but if you're the chair of a committee and you give a report, that report is based on your committee coming back to the commission, the board, wherever, and giving that report. You can't give a report. You can say I have no report, but you can't give a report without meeting. There's a sunshine law regarding that. And during the election cycle, I, Kevin Lai, and others raised concerns in writing and testimony verbally at these meetings, including other meetings, committee meetings unrelated to the elections committee, that there were issues with the elections that were being done completely improperly in violation of the neighborhood plan. And yet you never held a committee meeting to address that. There's numerous complaints, including mine, and at the highest court in this state, there's a complaint filed on June 16th. It was actually, I didn't even realize, the 2-year anniversary of my mother's passing, and a light beam came down on my head. Someone took a photo in front of the courthouse. They wanted to take a photo, and there was an incredible light beam that shows over my head. I think it was my mom blessing me for being ethical and raising that issue. So it impacted me. And lastly, I'm going to add, so I had one of my votes didn't count. That would have been a tying vote. I submitted that complaint, and I brought it to the Supreme Court. The elections weren't done properly, last name first. The form wasn't available for complaints and more. And I just found out, to summarize and end this, there's someone on another board who submitted a registration Another board member on that board saw that registration, the candidate profile. That disappeared at some point, and I guess there was no ballot sent out, and that was an uncontested election. She never had her day to get a vote. She was just lopped off for some reason, but she did show up, apparently from what I've been told, and what she's been told. And I actually spoke to that person just before this meeting, and I'll be speaking with that.
Summarize.
So
if you would.
very concerning to me that this commission is not addressing the elephant in the room, and it continues to say that there were no complaints or challenges. And even Lloyd in an interview did that. That
Okay,
is egregious. I'll stop there. Thank you. That's egregious.
Thank you very much. I will say, as there is a complaint actively filed, I do not think it's prudent at this time that the commission delve into this and let the complaint process resolve itself, and then we can go forward with what we need to do. Thank you very much. Are there anyone else?
Kevin Lai.
Kevin Lai. Go ahead, Kevin.
Chair, thank you. In this case, I will need to echo what Mr. Masakian has stated, because he brings up many grave and concerning points about the election process that's just been finished. I don't want to reiterate a lot of those now, but I will want to ask if the commission office is willing to boot up and run the election candidate registration process in the presence of myself and others, so that we can recreate how names and information were captured by the system that was operated in 2025. Because to a lot of people, it's pretty logical that if there's a field for your last name, and a field for your first name, that is the data that should get recreated to print and produce as the neighborhood plan demands. Last name, comma, first name, et cetera, et cetera. To posit that a separate field or separate box was not populated, and so that means that a candidate did not indicate exactly how they wanted their name to be presented on the ballot is preposterous. I think that defies all logic of anyone who's going through the process of applying to become a neighborhood board member and has read and studied the neighborhood plan. And even if not, I think there are a lot of logical inconsistencies that need to be addressed for the next time around. And relatedly, in 2 years from now, I hope that the commission will not decide to recess during the month of June of 2027, because as of this year, that left the difficulty in addressing these election issues in a timely fashion because there was no meeting of the commission. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Are there any other? Hearing none, we will move on. Thank you. Next up is commission report, or a committee report from the survey committee.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, the last survey committee we had, I had made a recommendation to Patrick to incorporate the items that I provided earlier into the neighborhood plan. And Patrick had mentioned about after you get done first with the complaints provision, and then we can go back in there and do that. And so I'll be glad to support that and help that to be done.
Good. I was going to ask if you would come back
Sure.
and present to us. Oh, terrific. Are there any questions for Commissioner Melendez about the survey? Any from the public? Hearing none. Thank you. Thank you very much for.
Greg just raised his hand.
Greg.
Just a brief comment. I don't know if others here that are on boards or were on boards at the time will echo this, but I have a concern that the survey, the ultimate survey that should have been done to provide feedback to how the board members think commission that NCO office is doing, the staff that supports us, and the commissioners and the process within the neighborhood board system, that survey, the importance of that survey too was left on the table, that survey never got completed. So the survey that was done, in my opinion, was very vague and very simple and very generic, and it didn't reflect what's really going on in these neighborhood boards. I'm sorry. It's unconscionable, some of the things that are going on at the Waikiki Neighborhood Board, and also even within this meeting as I'm speaking. I'm shocked that we talk about the elections having no complaints or whatever you said a moment ago, and do you really believe that when we're saying it each time we come to these meetings? So that said, the survey, in my opinion, was never done properly. I think we need a survey to the community. I hope I echo the community. I'll see if anyone else wants to say anything, but very concerned.
Thank you. Thank you. Are there, did you say Kevin? No, no more? Did you want to respond?
I can address that. I think would be appropriate, the information that we give to the planning committee, which is comprised of the chairs, neighborhood board members that have given the survey committee the items for incorporation, we can release that. That'd be good. That way you have transparency and you know what line items we've done.
Larry, I mean, Lloyd.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm assuming you're talking about the survey that you did?
Yes,
Okay,
that's going to the plan.
right, that's
That
what he was,
was
referencing, right? That's what Greg was, okay.
Yeah.
Because we did one to the board members.
Yeah, yours is different.
Yeah, and I just wanted to ask you again to make it legitimate so we understand the breadth of your survey. How many people were surveyed? What was the question? What was the response rate? And if we have that, that would put it, because if you talk to one person, that's just one person.
I think
But
we-
you talk-
No, I agree with you. I think we already provided that.
No, you never provided a number in terms of how many you sent it to, who did you send it to, what was the response?
Sure.
Yeah, if you could get that to us, that'd be
Sure.
great.
That's right.
Any further questions for the survey committee?
Yeah, I'll just make one comment.
Go ahead, Larry.
Yeah, in my review of the survey questions and also after the fact with all the input that many of the board members and chairs have provided, there was a lot of redundancy, and I really felt that they were legitimate concerns that they had, and that was all documented. And as Chair Melendez for the survey committee stated, you know, that does need to get out to everybody, and it was our intent to put it in for review for the neighborhood plan. We just haven't got to that yet.
Yeah, and it just is for everybody's, so they know, we are going through the complaints provisions, which we're talking about in just a moment. But when we go back to the more topical, you know, the everyday provisions that apply to the neighborhood board, yes, we will. And in fact, if Stephen is available and willing to come out and give us a report,
Great.
we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any last observations? Hearing none, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Commissioner. Next, we have the Neighborhood Planning Committee, or Plan Committee, and I do have a presentation. There is a proposal that is online that it incorporated all the actions or that we took at our meeting last Monday. And so I would like to go through for all the commissioners what we are doing. So if you would bring up the first item, they're numbered. So that this is all, if everyone wants to follow at home, this is our, everything's on the shared drive for the commission for this month. And I just want to briefly go through the revised process. But one thing I'll address really quickly as we're bringing that up. Are you ready?
Yeah, so the first item is the
It starts
flow
with
chart.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
It goes one.
You have two that are labeled one.
I know, but that was because one's a PDF, one's a picture. Remember, I said I didn't know which one would work better.
Right.
So if you want to use all PDFs, that's fine. The last time the PDFs were a little flaky, and that's why I had both. I made double. Yeah, so that way if there's a problem with one, there you go. So, okay. But let me just start out by saying, okay, why did we want to do the review? Because we wanted to make this chapter, the complaints chapter, more responsive. The process does take a lot of time. I don't know if after Tom's remarks, if we've shaved a lot of time, but it seems to be a lot more efficient, and we'll go through that. But the committee deliberately reviewed each time period, and we shortened the minute. We wanted to have more flexibility to handle complaints. And part of that flexibility is different options. Just like one size doesn't fit all. Right now, we have kind of one process. And we're going to talk about the various options that we, as a committee, put forward. So that we can handle complaints a little bit more effectively. And part of that is not all the complaints that we felt as a committee, not all the complaints should necessarily go to the full commission for review. First off, if the complainant wants, all the complaints will go to the full commission. So we're not cutting off anybody's rights, but we're offering a lot of options to resolve complaints before it goes that route. So it looks, and you're gonna see it in a moment, it looks a lot more complicated. I promise you, it looks a lot more complicated, but if you see what we're doing, hopefully everybody will agree. So to give you a sense of what's going on, let's review the current process. If you go back to the front. So any person or the commission can file a complaint. It'll go to the executive secretary for review. The executive secretary can kind of make a decision about whether it's justified. If they feel it's unjustified, like, I forgot the terminology, what is it, meant to embarrass or something. Yeah, then the secretary will come to the commission, and that's a line on the other side with a recommendation to dismiss. But assuming it's not, there's an option if it's withdrawn, but if it's not withdrawn, it'll go down to the commission. So keep going, please. And then we'll do a commission review, and the commission will decide, I'm sorry, I can't see. The commission will decide whether, we do have this one step of whether it complies with all the necessities of a full complaint. Most of the time we let it go. So the commission will then decide whether we want to do a hearing, and a hearing is a separate form. So if you want to go to number 2.
Number 2, all right. That's the hearing.
This is actually replicated in number 2, but go ahead to number 2. You're just seeing.
Shall I zoom?
Yeah, you might want to zoom a little bit. Okay, so currently there are 2 different provisions depending on who files the complaint. It's actually the executive secretary with a motion of the commission is the 102, the 2-18-102 process. They're very, very similar. I'm not even really sure why there's a difference. It's mostly having to do with producing witnesses and evidence. But then there's the other process, which is basically for everybody else. And as you can see, there are just, the parties have to exchange witnesses and such. I'm on a witness list and evidence. And there are time periods like when if you go down a little bit more. These are type of hearings. It's a HRS 91 type of hearing. You could have objections for, I forgot what that is for. All right, 1 second. Oh, so that's the hearing officers. I'm sorry. If there's a hearing officer, then the hearing officer will produce a report, and the parties can offer objection to the report of the hearings officer. But it will all ultimately end up at the commission, and the commission within 45 days will actually make a decision. And then we can decide with that decision, it can include sanction. Now, I did put a little asterisk, and it's hard for me to read from here, but there was a big question. I got this a lot the committee got this a lot during the process, and that was 10 days before the hearing, the parties are supposed to exchange documentation, be it evidence and witness lists, that sort of thing. It actually says in the plan that failure to comply may lead to allow the commission to ignore those materials. It does not mandate. It doesn't say shall ignore. So I will just let some of our viewers know that. So we can go on, and this is what we currently have, pretty much. So if we want to go on to number 3.
I'm seeing 4. Let's see.
There is a number 3, I hope.
Let's see if this one is actually. That looks similar. That looks a little different. This might be 3.
Number 2, the number 3?
This one is showing number 2, but I'm thinking it's number 3.
No, it's a really complicated one, but that's okay. We don't need to do there's an overview, and it's very complicated, so. And I wanted to say, it looks overwhelming if you first look at it, but if you break it down to its component parts, it makes, I think, a lot of sense. So anyway, this is when the NCO first gets a complaint, is they ask, is it filed within the 10 days? Because that's the limit that we set. So and if it's not, then it'll be dismissed probably. Is it a vexatious filer? We'll get to that. That's the commission can hold someone to be a vexatious filer, and essentially what that means is that we have a hearing. Someone, by motion, we can have a hearing, and if someone is found to have filed a lot of complaints that have no merit, they can be deemed a vexatious filer. If they are, when a new complaint comes in from that individual, it goes to the executive secretary, and the executive secretary actually evaluates the complaint to see if it has merit. If the executive secretary does not feel it has merit, they can dismiss it. And that's the whole point of vexatious filing. Okay, so now you move down, and those are pretty rare cases, or I shouldn't say the 10-day filing, but if you're filed within the amount of, within the window, then it probably comes to the executive secretary and the commission chair make a decision of how to dispose of the complaint. There is a little subpart of that. If the complaint is against a board or board member, the two parties, the executive secretary and the commission chair, can decide to inform the board. And if they do inform the board of the complaint, then they just have to follow up and inform them of the decision also. But they don't have to do this. So go on, please, to number 5. Okay, so here are our 6 options. They may be hard to read, but on the far left is fixed defects, and we're going to go through all these. Party conference, remediation, or essentially asking for fixes, dismiss, forward directly onto the commission for a review, or if the executive secretary and the commission chair can't agree, it will also go to the commission. So if we want to go to the next one, which is number 6, I believe. Okay, so this is to fix a defect. That's actually a defect in the filing. It can be a little thing or something like that. It's just an evaluation, and it's sent back to the complaint if you go down. So the executive secretary and the commission chair make that decision. It's sent back to the complaint to just ask for the fix, and then it goes back to the initial process. So that one's sort of just a big loop. So if you go on to number 7, please. This is dismissal. If the executive secretary and the commission chair decide to dismiss it, they report. It doesn't even necessarily have to be a written report. It can be an oral report. Well, I guess it would have to be a written, because how would we know? Oh, yeah, that's right. So the complaint, if it's dismissed, the complaint can appeal that dismissal to can appeal that dismissal to the commission for a review. And when we do the dismissal, we can provide a recommendation. So go ahead to number 8. Well, number 8 is just the forward directly to commission. There's really not much to it. Just so you can see. Go on to number 9. Oh, we don't need all that part. I don't think people can read it. This is more for your information. So the party conference this is one of, I think, an option that we may utilize quite a bit in the future. We can send it to a conference of the filer and the complaint if they sit on one board, which they probably will. That could be led by the chair or the vice chair, or if those parties are involved or are felt by some of the parties can't be objective, it can be held by or facilitated by a third party. So whoever holds it, the facilitator, will produce a report with recommendations, That report, the parties can then accept it, in which case the complaint is concluded, or it can be appealed to the commission. So number 10, please. So this is just remediation. So when we feel it's, the executive secretary and the commission chair feel that it's just necessary to send a note just saying, hey, you need to do something a little differently, we can send a notice of that to whoever is the offending party via how you assume it's the respondent, but whatever. So either the party can appeal that if they don't feel like it's sufficient. And the reason it's either party, the respondent in this case, if we say, we kind of say, okay, respondent, you've done something wrong, the respondent can say, no, I don't think I have. So with that, if they do appeal it, with the party responses, that would go to the commission for a review. Number 11, please. And we're almost done, so bear with me. Sorry, but for those who haven't seen it. Okay, so if there's no agreement between the executive secretary and the commission chair, it just goes directly to the commission for a review hearing. So number 12. Number 12 is just, it's actually just the hearings process. There's not a huge change in the process that we've had. It's mostly the changing of the days that are, it's mostly the time periods that are required. So we do have some changes in sanctions and such, but I kind of thought this was maybe a lot, so we could maybe hold off on the particulars. This is just an opportunity for people who haven't seen this to sort of digest it, to get an overview. It's on the shared drive if you want to take more of a look. The proposal itself is on the drive, and we can go through that now, or we can probably say, why don't everybody review it, and we can take that up next month, especially if we do get next month meeting. Thank you. So with that said, are there any questions? We're still in the phase that we're going to have a lot more review, especially seeming like we're going to get 3 more. Just seeming that we're going to get some new commissioners, they're going to have to be taken through this. So this is just a brief overview to the current commissioners. Commissioner Melendez.
Yeah, I remember about the remediation we talked about. Are we going to use an external third party for that?
Okay. What happened was the committee decided to remove that option last meeting because we had a lot of questions as to how it would work. And there seemed to be a lot of disagreement about how much detail to put in, so the decision was just to remove it.
We had support from chairs and board members to use a third party. Like, would it be like the remediation center of the Pacific, so it wouldn't be to help for transparency?
I mean, I would say it was not. That was brought up in the committee, and the committee itself made a recommendation. That's something that certainly the commission itself can reintroduce. Richard.
I was at that meeting, and when we discussed the mediation, even if we took it out of the plan, it does not prevent parties from deciding to go to mediation. And the only model I think we have is a group that's out there, the Mediation Center of the Pacific. They have an ongoing program. So board members, if they wanted, they could do that already, even now. So you don't have to put it in the plan. I mean, it's going to take a lot more work if you did, I think, to spell out, how that might work.
It would, but I think the consensus from the chairs and board members is to be easier. Some of these complaints we handle like that, rather than handling it in the house.
Well, if it's easier, then we just can tell the parties, take it to mediation, and they can decide whether they do it or not. If it's that easy, then, they can go.
Well, they're looking at not coloring things from what's happening internally, but having an independent third party address it. Same thing judges do. Same thing. They have an independent party to address it.
There's a difference because the mediator doesn't make judgments about dispute.
No, bring it
They
together.
try to get the parties to reach an agreement sometimes.
Well, I would say that's something for the commissioners to really think about. And I mean, we did struggle with it, and in fact, I think what really was the problem is trying to define the process. It was, we just couldn't really agree on how to do that, and there was a feeling, I think for the whole committee to just remove it.
But even a line item saying mediation, just say options, let them do that and come back to the commission. Like Richard mentioned.
Well, that's certainly possible. I mean, we had that, but, okay. We'll take that under advisement. So.
Great.
Are there any other questions? Okay, so.
I have one thing.
Yes, sir.
I really want to tell you guys that I really think the successful way ahead is using our commissioners for some of that mediation, because we've been part of these situations with our own boards and things like that. And the thing is, we do care. We want our boards to be very effective. We want them to be cohesive. And we don't want impediments, because boards can't get stuff done. So anyway, I really think the chairs will, the commissioners will.
Well, that would be part of that third party mediation. It was going to be the official mediation. You know, that it would be a literal mediator that's certified by in some capacity, as opposed, to a neutral third party. So we do still have that option. That's part of the party conference. So, are there any other questions? Well, I will say, before we move to questions, I do want to thank Tom Heinrich. He put together the initial table, which I was thinking about, and I said, okay, I'll get started later on, because I'd worked on some of this, and that was a big project. So I know you spent a lot of time, and I am very appreciative, and I'm sure the commission and the
The
committee.
second one will be easier,
I hope so.
because the flow charts help a lot.
Okay, thank you very much. That is a lot of work I know you put on it, so I really appreciate it. Okay, with that said,
Greg Marsakian.
Greg Marsakian, please go ahead, Greg.
Thank you. First, Michelle Matson, member of the Diamond Head Board, has put in chat, and a moment ago also she texted me she was having difficulty getting recognized. I did see her hand go up once or twice, and then it came down, so I don't know what's going on. But could we get that addressed first? Let's see. She's putting something in chat, so she's not able to communicate.
Well, I will go back to her. If you have something to offer, please go ahead.
Well, no, what I was going to ask is maybe just, I will, but maybe give her an option of audio to call in right now, and let's get her connected in. I think there's an audio option on the Zoom where she can just call in, so she can participate that way. I think something's going on. You know, she can call in with her cell phone, and then she can participate. So there's an audio number. Dylan Buck should have that.
Okay.
Well, this is WebEx. I'm sorry. Oh, there we go.
Okay.
She's there. Michelle?
All right, thank you.
And I am extremely concerned about the process of this meeting. I have been locked out, unable to access until now. Thank you, Greg. I'm concerned about the discussion regarding the commission's process, and I'm fully in support of Steve Melendrez continuing on the commission, which is highly questionable because of the current city council resolution that has no verification of proposed new commissioners. Also, Larry Bray's comments are significant, as well as Patrick's. So I'm really questioning this process. I'm questioning the procedure, and I really am supportive of the commission and the neighborhood plan. I've been a member of the our community district, not just a neighbor board, for a long, long time. And maybe you want to cancel that type of tenure, but we have institutional knowledge, and we have comments and we need to be involved. But where is this? Why is it just dissipated into oblivion? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Are there any other?
Greg raised his hand again.
Greg, I asked Greg if you wanted to comment, and he
No, I
declined.
did. I just.
Okay. Well, Greg, that you declined to
Chair.
comment. I said go ahead, and you didn't. I told you
Chair,
you would get to me.
she wanted to speak and she then was able to
And
get
she
on,
did
so
get
she was
to
able
me.
to.
Well,
So
Greg, come on. I told you specifically.
Chair.
I'm sorry. I
Chair,
apologize. Very quickly, Greg.
a member of the public, or actually a board member, wanted to speak, said she was having difficulty.
It
She
is
asked.
not your place to tell me how to run the meeting. I told you I would let her speak, and she did.
I was just letting you know that. That was all. And then she was able to speak. So you let her
Okay.
speak, and that's when I put my hand down. But I also want to comment on what was just discussed with the plan. Again, I'm going to make this comment. As we sit here, I just emailed you all. I forwarded you my testimony that was sent, I think, three something before 4 o'clock on Saturday. I resent it. I copied Dylan Buck on it. It wasn't posted. It wasn't posted a moment ago. I asked at the beginning of the meeting to please post it. Am I being discriminated against is my question. Is there further bias towards me? I know there's been bias before, but is there bias right now at this meeting? So please post my testimony as we finish up this meeting. Let me know it's posted and let the members of the public here know that it's posted so that they can go access. I see one from a member of the public and one from a member of the Diamond Head board that's posted, but I don't see mine. And this isn't the first time, and I know other people that this has happened to very often, actually. It's an affront to the neighborhood board system. So, new chair, I'm sorry, but you already got confrontational with me just now because I was trying to be courteous to a neighborhood board member who was having difficulty speaking. And she had the same thing happen when you sat at a kangaroo court where I was trying to bring in witnesses on my behalf, and you wouldn't allow her to speak. The audio worked, but the video didn't. Oh my God. All right, I'll stop with that. The things on the
Hold on,
plan.
Greg. Hold on. Second, please. Greg, hold on.
You have addressed his concerns, and so I think we should move forward with the meeting.
I agree. Greg, you have addressed that in the past. I think you're getting a little off topic regarding the plan. So I'm sorry, we will look into the testimony. I don't know what happened. So we can resolve that outside the meeting. Thank you.
Well, it should be part of the meeting because the meeting is going on. As far as the neighborhood plan, just very briefly, I do want to comment on
No, I'm sorry, Greg, you've run out of time, and that's it. Kevin, go ahead, please.
Chair, thank you. I appreciate the flow chart being presented tonight. And I just, again, encourage all the commissioners and all the public who's on the line now to read the actual documents because the flow charts aren't what will be ultimately approved. Chair, I hope that you can clarify for the public what the next anticipated steps will be once what you presented tonight is taken under consideration and deliberated by the commissioners to ensure that we're all aware of the public meetings that need to go on with the documents here. I just wanted to comment further that if there is or does need to be a carve out for HRS 92 related matters, and I think we discussed this at the most recent neighbor plan committee meeting, if that's going to be made clear in some fashion, whether it's on the complaint form that may need also to be modified as part of the process or otherwise. Dear Commissioner Verret, speak of the commissioners considering hearing these complaints and adjudicating them. Well, that's a real novel idea. It sounds like that's kind of full circle back to what the commissioners have been commissioned to do in the past as far as filed complaints. I remain concerned that there's really no clear way to hold the Neighborhood Commission and the Neighborhood Commission office accountable for following the amended neighborhood plan, even including the neighborhood plan complaint process. So I think that's key. And lastly, I just wonder again if there will be some process by which complaints will be gamed out and these timelines will be tested for viability, and it may involve intra-month meetings of the Neighborhood Commission to make sure that some of these timelines and deadlines are met. So I just hope that that's been fully advised, and I congratulate all the plan members for going through the long process. Thank you.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Kevin, sorry. I will tell you, as far as the process, yeah, this is just introductory to our commissioners who haven't been on the planning committee. We will go through the actual document itself. The flowcharts are just sort of informational. I don't know that they work very well. We probably should have had them printed, everybody look at it on paper. But in any event, yeah, we still have a ways to go. Once the commission is satisfied, because the commission may object, like they may want additional items like Commissioner Melendez suggested, and that may go back to the committee. Even hypothetically, if they accept it as is, it still needs to go, my understanding is it still needs to go to corporate counsel for review. Then even hypothetically, if there are no changes there, which I'm sure there will be, so that has to go through the whole process. And only then, once the commission approves the very final version, would we talk about going to the public meetings. So we're really far away from those. I can't expect that that's gonna happen in the next month or two. Yeah, so we still have a ways to go. It gives plenty of opportunity to make some input. And if anybody wants to offer anything, please let me know. I hope I answered everything. Did I leave something out? I think you said about the HRS 92 options. That's something we'll look at, so. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Anybody further? Okay.
It does have to get forensic.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Okay,
we
now
haven't talked too
no
much about that,
firing on-
but it has to get done before it goes to public hearings.
Right.
You know, that's another process in itself. I don't know if Patrick's gonna do it somebody else's, but, you know, that is a chore. Yeah, unless you get an AI program to do that.
Okay, so that concludes the business part of our meeting. Are there announcements? I will announce that the next meeting is scheduled for Monday, August 25th, this year. I don't know if there are any committees planned. We probably will need to review the committee system with new members if we have those. And then finally, I would say, I would like to extend my thanks and appreciation for our members who are leaving. Richard Oshiro, Claire, Tom Lowe's, and Stephen Melendres. I think each of you have done a terrific job, and great members of this commission, and we all appreciate your service and your dedication, and thank you very much. Is there any? With that, is there anything further?
Claire said so.
Oh, go ahead, Claire.
So thank you for your kind words. I'm sorry that the election reports were not reflective of meetings that we did. Yes, I agree, we did not have. But going forward, since I'm no longer on the commission, can I request Greg Masakin take me off his personal email blasts to everyone?
Yeah, I'll reach out to Greg and say, please update his list. And I'm sure he will. So, thank you. Is there anything?
Happy to.
Okay, thank you. Okay, with that said, we conclude our business. I'll adjourn the meeting. Thank you very much. We will have, I guess it's more of a recess because we will have our adjudicatory matters afterwards. Sorry. Thank you very much.